Never eat turmeric with these three foods. Deadly food combos with turmeric. Have you ever stood in your kitchen early in the morning, cradling a warm cup of tea in your hands, and reached for that little jar of golden turmeric hoping it might soothe your joints or bring just a bit more clarity to your day? Maybe you first heard about it from your daughter, or saw a health article that promised its power to fight inflammation, protect the heart, and even support memory. It's easy to fall into the comforting rhythm of adding it to your tea, your oatmeal, your favorite soup. It feels like doing something good for yourself. But what if I told you that sometimes, even when we're trying our best, we may unknowingly be holding turmeric back from helping us? Not because it doesn't work, but because of what we're eating with it. A slice of processed cheese, a drizzle of vinegar, a muffin that seems harmless. Little things. Familiar things can quietly interfere with turmeric's healing potential. As a doctor who has walked with many patients through the quiet struggles of aging, I've seen how small adjustments can make a big difference. Today, I'd love to share what I've learned. Let's sit together and explore this. Gently, let's find out how to help turmeric truly help you. Part 1. When turmeric doesn't work as you hoped. 3 foods that quietly block its power. 1. Processed dairy. A familiar comfort that may complicate healing. There's something so nostalgic about a morning that begins with eggs and melted cheese, or a hot cup of coffee swirled with creamer. These routines feel safe, grounding, especially as we age. They remind us of breakfast with family, Sunday brunches, or quiet moments before the house wakes up. But here's something I've quietly observed in my practice when it comes to turmeric. These comforting staples may be silently interfering with its effectiveness. You see, turmeric's healing magic comes from curcumin, a compound known for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. But curcumin doesn't absorb easily into our bloodstream. It needs a clean, supportive environment to be fully utilized by the body. And processed dairy, think American cheese slices, powdered creamers, flavored yogurts, is rarely clean or supportive. These products are often loaded with stabilizers, emulsifiers, and sugars that make digestion harder, especially for older adults. If your stomach already struggles with bloating or slow digestion, these additives can form a barrier between your body and the nutrients you're trying to absorb. What's more, certain milk proteins can bind to curcumin, reducing its bioavailability, that is, how much your body can actually use. So even if you're faithfully adding turmeric to your eggs or tea each morning, if those meals include processed cheese or sweetened dairy, you may be neutralizing the very benefits you're hoping to gain. It's not about guilt, it's about gentle awareness. Instead of powdered creamer, try warming up some oat or almond milk. They're easier on the stomach, anti-inflammatory by nature, and don't block absorption. If you enjoy creamy textures, coconut milk is another wonderful, soothing option. This isn't about taking joy away, it's about helping your rituals truly nourish you. When we understand how our food choices interact, we empower ourselves to heal more fully and kindly. Let's look at another pairing that may surprise you. 2. Vinegar-based foods when tangy turns troublesome. Many of us enjoy that little burst of tang, a crisp pickle beside a sandwich, a drizzle of vinaigrette on a fresh salad, or a spoonful of coleslaw at lunch. These bright, zesty flavors wake up the palate and add contrast to our meals. But for those of us relying on turmeric for its healing, these acidic additions may be causing more than a flavor imbalance. Turmeric's curcumin compound is a bit sensitive. It doesn't tolerate harsh environments well, especially acidic ones. When turmeric is paired with vinegar-based foods like ketchup, mustard, store-bought salad dressings, or even pickled vegetables, its molecular structure may begin to degrade before it has the chance to benefit your body. For many older adults, this is compounded by digestive sensitivity. Acid reflux, heartburn, or bloating are common complaints. And when turmeric is consumed alongside vinegar-heavy foods, these symptoms may worsen not because turmeric is bad, but because the acidity overwhelms its delicate nature. That doesn't mean you need to give up all flavor. In fact, your meals can still be delicious and healing. Try making your own simple dressing with extra virgin olive oil, a touch of lemon, and a pinch of black pepper. This combination doesn't just avoid problems, it actively boosts turmeric's absorption. Lemon is gentler than vinegar. Olive oil carries the curcumin more effectively, and black pepper, we'll talk more about this soon, amplifies its strength. If you love pickles or ketchup, consider spacing them out from your turmeric-rich meals. Timing matters just as much as ingredients. It's a small shift, but one that can protect the intention behind your choices. You're not just eating, you're healing. And every detail matters when your body is trying to repair itself gently. Let's move on to one last common pairing that might be quietly working against you. 3. Sugary cereals and baked goods. The hidden conflict. There's something comforting about sweetness. A warm muffin in the morning, a slice of banana bread in the afternoon, or a bowl of cereal that reminds you of your younger years. These foods are more than just breakfast. They're emotional touch points, tied to memory and mood. Lately, you may have even noticed turmeric showing up in these baked goods golden muffins, turmeric granola, turmeric cookies at the health store. They sound wholesome. But there's something important to consider. Refined sugar and turmeric simply don't mix well when it comes to healing. Sugar is pro-inflammatory. It raises your blood sugar, taxes your metabolism, and can contribute to joint pain, fatigue, and cognitive fog. And when you eat it alongside turmeric, the two send opposing messages to your body, one trying to reduce inflammation, the other fueling it. As a result, curcumin's effectiveness is dampened. You're not getting the full value of what you're consuming, and over time, this can leave you disappointed, wondering why the turmeric isn't working. But we can reclaim the sweetness, gently. Unsweetened oatmeal is a beautiful base for turmeric, especially with a touch of almond butter and some blueberries. Instead of sugary muffins, try baking with mashed bananas and raw honey. These natural sugars digest more slowly and don't trigger the same inflammatory response. And if you're craving a turmeric snack, make a golden paste at home, just turmeric, black pepper, and a little raw honey stirred into warm almond milk. It's soothing, healing, and just sweet enough. You don't have to give up the joy of flavor. You just need to realign it with your body's needs today, not the body you had 30 years ago, but the one you lovingly care for now. Now that we've explored what not to pair with turmeric, let's look at how to unlock its full healing power gently, naturally, and effectively. Part 2. Helping turmeric help you. 3 food combinations that unlock its healing potential. 1. Black pepper, the unsung partner that makes turmeric work. Sometimes the most powerful solutions are already sitting quietly in our kitchens. Black pepper is one of them. You might shake it onto your eggs without a second thought, or add a pinch to soup out of habit. But when combined with turmeric, black pepper becomes far more than just a seasoning, it becomes a catalyst. Inside black pepper is a compound called piperine, and its relationship with turmeric is truly special. On its own, curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric, is difficult for your body to absorb. In fact, research shows that without help, much of the curcumin we consume simply passes through the digestive system unused. But with piperine, that absorption can increase by as much as 2,000%. I often remind my patients at our age, nutrient absorption isn't as strong as it used to be. The digestive lining may be thinner, the enzymes slower, and the system overall a bit more sensitive. That's why combining turmeric with black pepper isn't just helpful, it's essential. It gives your body a chance to fully receive the gift turmeric offers. And the best part, it's easy. Whether you're stirring turmeric into a warm drink or blending it into a soup, just add a gentle pinch of freshly ground black pepper. It doesn't overpower the flavor, but it quietly transforms the effectiveness of what you're taking. Freshly ground pepper is preferable to the pre-ground versions that may have lost potency. A small pepper grinder can be a wise little investment for your spice rack. Think of black pepper as turmeric's trusted companion, one that holds the door open so healing can truly begin. Small, unassuming, but deeply important. 2. Healthy fats. The transport system your body needs. If there's one truth I've come to embrace more deeply with time, it's this: healing is rarely about one ingredient alone. It's about combinations, partnerships, how different nutrients support one another. And in turmeric's case, healthy fats are key to unlocking its full benefit. Curcumin is what we call fat-soluble. That means it needs fat to dissolve and be absorbed into your bloodstream. Without it, your body struggles to make use of turmeric, no matter how much you take. But not all fats are equal. Processed, fried, or hydrogenated fats can increase inflammation, the very thing turmeric is meant to reduce. That's why the type of fat matters. So what are the good ones? Olive oil, especially extra virgin, is one of the best companions. Rich in heart, healthy monounsaturated fats and antioxidants. Avocados offer a creamy anti-inflammatory base perfect for smoothies or toast. Nut butters like almond or cashew bring both texture and nutritional support. Fatty fish like salmon are deeply nourishing, especially for cognitive and joint health. And chia or flax seeds, though small, are powerful plant-based sources of omega-3s. You don't need much. A tablespoon of olive oil drizzled over turmeric-seasoned vegetables, a smoothie with turmeric, banana, and a spoon of almond butter, or a turmeric-spiced egg cooked in avocado oil. One of my favorite combinations I recommend to patients: a turmeric olive oil soup with black pepper. It's warm, grounding, and incredibly supportive of digestion and joint health. Think of healthy fat as the vehicle that carries turmeric exactly where it needs to go through the bloodstream, across cell membranes, into tissues that need healing. Without that vehicle, turmeric simply waits at the door. So if you've been adding turmeric to meals but skipping the fats, this small change could make all the difference. 3. Raw honey. A sweet companion with healing roots. There's something deeply soothing about a spoonful of raw honey. It calls to mind old remedies, comfort on sick days, tea shared with loved ones. But did you know that raw honey is also a gentle amplifier for turmeric's benefits? Unlike white sugar, which spikes inflammation and undermines turmeric's effects, raw honey is anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antioxidant rich. It contains natural enzymes that support digestion, and its sweetness helps balance turmeric's earthy bitterness, making it more enjoyable to consume. But here's the important distinction: we're talking about raw honey, not the clear, overly processed kind found in plastic squeeze bottles. Raw honey tends to be thick, sometimes cloudy, and filled with pollen and nutrients. It hasn't been heated, so its healing properties remain intact. One of the simplest ways to combine these two is the golden spoon method. Just mix 1 teaspoon of raw honey, 2 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper. Take it daily straight from the spoon or stir it into warm water or herbal tea. It's especially helpful for easing sore joints, calming the throat, or boosting immunity during allergy season. I often suggest this to patients who struggle with memory fog or inflammation in colder months. Not only does it support the body, but the act of making it slowly, intentionally adds a ritual of care to your day. If you're managing blood sugar, just remember to keep honey intake modest. A teaspoon a day is usually safe and beneficial. Let honey be the gentle helper that makes turmeric easier to take and more effective in how it supports your healing journey. Before we wrap up, I want to offer you something more than just information. I want to remind you of something many people forget as they grow older: your body still listens to love. I've had patients in their 60s, 70s, even late 80s walk into my clinic, eyes full of doubt, telling me they feel it's too late to change. They think their time for healing has passed, that turmeric or nutrition or any of these suggestions are for younger people. But let me tell you what I've seen with my own eyes: our bodies are still capable of responding beautifully to kindness. One woman I cared for began adding turmeric with black pepper to her evening tea at 72. Within weeks, her stiffness upon waking was lighter. A gentleman in his 80s swapped his morning cereal for turmeric oatmeal with almond butter. His digestion improved, and he no longer needed afternoon naps. These weren't miracles. These were small, thoughtful acts made consistently. Healing doesn't require dramatic overhauls. It asks for your presence, your willingness to listen, to experiment, to care. So if you've tried turmeric before and didn't notice much, don't give up. Maybe it wasn't the turmeric. Maybe it was what came with it. Maybe your body was just waiting for a better companion, or for you to try again with more support. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are simply in a new season, one where care must be softer, deeper, and more patient. And that's what today has been about. Not turmeric alone, but the gentle art of learning how to nourish yourself again. Now, let's bring all these thoughts into a final reflection. So now we come to the end of this quiet reflection on something as simple and as powerful as turmeric, a spice that many of us keep tucked away in our kitchens, believing it to be a small act of wellness. And it is. But like most things in life, it needs the right environment, the right companions, to truly fulfill its potential. We've learned today that turmeric doesn't work in isolation. It can be quietly blocked by foods we love and trust: processed dairy, vinegar-heavy condiments, sugary baked goods, things that feel like home, but may not support our healing in this season of life. At the same time, we've discovered that a few gentle additions, black pepper, healthy fats, and raw honey can completely transform the way turmeric shows up for our bodies. This isn't about giving up joy or clinging to rigid rules. It's about small, mindful shifts. Swapping your morning creamer, adding a pinch of pepper to your tea, choosing avocado oil instead of margarine. These changes don't just affect your body, they lift your spirit. They remind you that healing is still possible, even in your 70s or 80s. Especially then. I always tell my patients aging isn't about decline, it's about refinement. You've gathered wisdom, resilience, and strength. Now is the time to use that wisdom to care for yourself more gently, more deliberately. And if this message has touched you today, I invite you to share it with a friend, a sibling, a neighbor. You never know who might need this encouragement, and I'd love to hear from you. Do you use turmeric? How do you take it? Let's keep the conversation going. Until we meet again here at Elders Insight, take care of yourself. Slowly, kindly, because you're worth every moment of it.